bump ahead to, let's see how quickly we can breeze through some of this Trump censorship stuff, because Trump told off Keir Starmer and the UK left to their faces. He said, Europe is a very different place than it was 5 years ago. You have to get your act together. If you don't, you won't have a Europe anymore. Let's show that clip.
You know, Europe is a much different place than it was just 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And they've got to get their act together. If they don't, you're not going to have Europe anymore as you know it. And you can't do that. This is a magnificent part of the world, and you cannot ruin it. You cannot let people come in here illegally. And what happens is there'll be murderers, there'll be drug dealers, there'll be all sorts of things that other countries don't want. And they send them to you, and they send them to us, and you've got to stop them.
Yeah.
I like the face of Keir Starmer, just like, I don't feel great.
No, it's embarrassing for him, but he needs to hear it. And you need to hear it from the most powerful man in the world, from a country that deeply believes in your human right to free speech. Keir Starmer tried to defend himself by saying, we've had free speech for a very long time here. There's a lady in jail for saying mean things about migrants, I think it is. So no, you don't. There's a woman in jail who is serving a longer sentence than people who harm children. So he can shut his yap. Anyways, let's watch this.
It's a free speech today.
Well, free speech is very important. I don't know if you're referring to any place in particular. Perhaps they are, but
we've had free speech for a very, very long time here, so we're very proud about that.
It's a free speech.
Sorry, I had to laugh. Like he had to jump in and try to defend himself. That show you that England is losing free speech, because you will not jump in and try to defend yourself if you didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, Lucy Connolly is sentenced to 31 months in jail for inciting hate, for inciting race hate, according to the British state. And the Court of Appeals refused to reduce her sentence. Keir Starmer, the man who said, oh, we've had free speech for a very long time here, said this was a matter for the courts, and that while he was strongly in favor of free speech, he was equally against incitement to violence. And she was, Lucy Connolly, she called for mass deportations after the murder of 3 girls at a dance workshop in Southport. And normal people would think that the sentence was manifestly excessive, but anyway, she's now in jail for a very, very long time. And so Keir Starmer is out of his mind, and I'm glad that Trump called him out for it. And then Trump also warned him, because Labor, the Labor Party, Keir Starmer's party, censors President Trump's social media platform, Truth Social, in the UK, and Trump let him have it.
President, you have a successful social media site. There are new powers here to censor your site, state-mandated powers.
To censor my site?
To censor your site and Twitter
Truth?
and Facebook.
Truth?
I mean Truth. Is that okay?
Well, I don't think he's going to censor my site because I say only good things. Will you please uncensor my site?
Yeah, we're not censoring anyone. We've got some measures which are there to protect children, in particular from sites like suicide sites. We've had too many cases in the United Kingdom of young children taking their own lives, and when you look through their social media, they've been accessing sites which talk about suicide and encouraging, if you like, children down that road, and that is what we want to stop. There's nothing about censoring free speech.
But that treats all adults like children.
This country is the proud.
But that can treat all adults like children.
Free speech in this country has been for a very long time. We're very, very proud of it. We will protect it forever. But at the same time, I personally feel very strongly that we should protect our young teenagers, and that's what it usually is, from things like suicide sites. I don't see that as a free speech issue. I see that as a child protection issue.
We actually passed a bill in Congress, headed up by my wife, actually, which was to pull bad stuff out having to do with children, because it is a problem. But I cannot imagine him censoring Truth Social. This is more of a very political, and you know, it's been a very big success.
It's not going to happen.
And I only say good things about him and his country, so if they censor me, you're making a mistake. I'm going to give my ambassador the job, make sure it's not censored. I had not heard that.
Trump's being jokey, but he's dead serious. And you can see that, okay, so they haven't necessarily censored Truth Social, but if there were something that the government said was harmful on Truth Social, they would censor it. And this sounds, I don't know, exactly like the Online Harms Act in Canada, where it's this dystopian nonsense where the government can say that's harmful. How? They don't know. Maybe in the future. Maybe you'll commit a future crime. You're pre-guilty. And Nigel Farage, to his credit, has said that he's the head of reform in the UK. He said he would repeal this. And this is what they do. They say, we're there to keep the kids safe, you guys. In the meantime, they're censoring mom and dad.
It's exactly, the left understood something.
Yeah.
Take a good cause, like protecting the children, and then let's pass all the censorship laws under that pretext.
Yeah.
And it works. It works.
It becomes a poison pill. So what it does to the people who oppose the legislation, saying it's too broad, it's going to result in censoring adults for political speech, they'll say to you, well, then you don't care about the kids. You want kids to harm themselves after they find this content online. You want people who would harm children to be sharing this content online. That's the criticism they use against people who oppose these draconian laws. It's quite clever, but also quite sinister, because I got a real hard time thinking that the people who are fine with gay erotica in the local library, that they actually care about kids seeing harmful stuff online.
And by the way, it's the role of the parents to deal with social media and access with internet. If you don't want your child to be exposed in all harmful content, it's your job as a parent to do something, not to the state, not to the school. It's the authority of the parents. What does state have to do with this?
Well, nothing. They should stay right out of it. They are perfectly fine with semi-nude people prancing around at the Pride Parade, but they're worried about harmful content online, which means things that are harmful to the government, not to kids. They just use that as an excuse.